I saw her just chugging back drinks. So I decided to take a step back.
I didn't do anything.
She got straight into the passenger seat.
Your Honor, I
And
checked.
I'm sorry, I'm going to finish.
I see a dent on the right back end of the car.
I see we have here the plaintiff, Najma Shy, and you are suing your friend, Teondra Lawrence, for $695 for car damage.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
What is your case?
So me and Teondra, we met on set of a music video. We just kept hanging out. Around that time, a few weeks later after that, I just gotten my first car ever. So this car means everything to me. This is my baby. And we went to Edgewood Ave in Atlanta, which is like a long street that has a bunch of bars and clubs, and you can kind of hop from bar to bar and just have a good time on it.
Right.
So I realized I was a little too tipsy to be on the road, and as a new driver, I'm just very cautious of like the blood alcohol count, the limits with driving.
Sure.
I don't want any issues.
That's good.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm a little bit past that limit. I can feel it. I wasn't super drunk, just a little tipsy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to get an Uber. She insists that she drives us back home. So me trusting her, as a new friend, I'm like, it's not that far of a drive, maybe 20 or so minutes. Boom, sure. So I'm getting into the car. There's nothing wrong with my car. I would notice. This is my baby.
Was the car parked like in a parking lot right by the bar, or was it parked on the street?
Yeah, so there's like parking lots where you can pay like between like $7 and $15 to park your car and then just go and walk towards the clubs.
Okay.
So it's in a lot.
First, I would like to point out that I'm the responsible friend. Obviously, I wasn't drunk, tipsy, I wasn't under influence at any type of point because I saw her just chugging back drinks. So I decided to take a step back, not take any drinks so I can make sure that we got home safely.
She drove you home?
Yes. So she drives me home. The ride's smooth. I would have felt a bump. There was no bump while I was in the car. So the damage, I'm pretty sure it did not happen while I was in the car. I'm 100% sure. So we get back to the house. I get out, go inside, and I'm just like, I crashed. So I'm like, it's been a long night. I just want to go to sleep.
Now, mind you, we're on Edgewood. Cars are close. Like, you can barely open your doors when you're moving around because everybody is partying, okay? She didn't notice any issues. I just want to make sure that that's clear. So she already admitted that I didn't do anything. I just want to make sure everybody else heard that.
The next morning, Your Honor, I get up, and the first odd thing that I notice, I see my car parked in front of the house. We never park on the street in this neighborhood. So basically, I see it parked in front of the house. I'm like, this is a red flag, number one. But I didn't think anything of it. As I'm walking around the car, I see a dent on the right back end of the car. I'm like, now I know for sure this wasn't there before because I would have noticed. So I immediately text Teondra. I'm like, what happened? Like, what's going on? When did this happen? And she's like, what? Like, there was nothing wrong with the car. I just parked it and drove home. Like, there was nothing wrong with the car. I didn't do anything. Kind of just not taking responsibility for the situation. But in reality, she drove my car home. There was no damage when I last drove the car to the club.
I don't really understand why she would blame me because the relationship has been so amazing since we met on that set. When we left the bar, I drove the car home. It was pretty dark. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. So obviously neither one of us did a 360 of the car by the time we left. So we don't know what happened before, if it happened before. We don't know if it happened after. She got straight into the passenger seat.
Your Honor, I checked.
And I'm sorry, I'm going to finish. So when I pulled up, I parked in front of her house because there were 2 cars in the driveway. Now, I don't live there. This is my first time coming to this area. She just gave me the address to her home, and I just pulled up, parked, and got in my car. And then the next day, she calls me with some crazy mess like I damaged her car.
I decided to just go straight to auto care. I wanted to get a quote right away, so I knew my numbers. And as you can see, the total comes to $695 for damages.
There are only 3 ways that I can see this car could have been damaged. It either was while you guys were at the bar and the car was parked. It could have been damaged on an accident on the way home. And it could have been damaged, you're saying, when it was parked on the street in front of the house instead of in the garage. It is impossible that the car was damaged that night while it was parked in front of your house. When I look at the pictures you submitted, the car is parked about a foot from the curb. And the side that is damaged is the side that is by the curb. The second place that it could have happened was on the drive home. And the drive home, I'm going to say it didn't happen then, because unless she was totally passed out and you had to carry her back into the house, there is no way, even if you're drinking, that when you're in a car and you get hit or you hit someone else, the passenger doesn't know. The third possibility, which I think is the most reasonable, is the fact that it might have happened while you were at the bar. You know, when people go into a car at night after they've been out at a bar and they open the door, if the accident isn't right where the door is and right where they're, you know, stepping into, it's possible that she didn't see it. Now, those are the three possibilities. There is no evidence that what happened to your car absolutely happened because of her negligence. And I can't be making a decision to make her pay $695 if there's no proof. I don't have any proof that you have carried your case, so the plaintiff's case is dismissed.